there was people, these undeveloped lots by the lake, and they would have like bonfires and parties because they thought that was like, you know, like nobody's over there, they can do that. Not the case, all right? Like, they ruined it for everybody. They all got put on probation. Nobody can go out there anymore because all it takes is one person to just... Okay, and I'm getting rid of this person because they are stupid. Stupid in the best way possible. Please do not ask for specific... Could put me in at risk. Please don't ask for those things because I will not respect that. I do not condone that. There are boundaries that I feel like should be unspoken, but I still have to speak about because you guys think that just because I'm on the internet that means you're entitled to everything, but that's not the case. My privacy is my peace, and I really, really hope that you can respect that. Yeah, so they ruin it for others out of their own ignorance because it's like, I don't know where you're from, Wolf. How many people live where you're from? You don't have to tell me where you're from, but how many people live where you're from? Because if you're from a bigger city, yeah, it's probably stupid. But like here in these small towns, like people really don't think. Like they're in this little bubble of insularity and it's really all they know. Thank you, Andrew, for the heart meme. You're from Texas. Texas is a very diverse place. Good morning, Zach. Is that developer, I'm gonna have to reset in a minute if you guys don't care and you want me to hang out for a little bit longer, but because I just got restricted for calling that person stupid even though they're like completely disregarding my safety. My point is though, is what I assume happened, which I hate to assume, I'm gonna do my own research, but just with the way that like Tennessee is, I would like to think that unfortunately that developer bought that land anticipating to kind of like suburb it out. Things that were a little bit easier or more priority for him to develop, because I will say in order for him to have had, I have to blow my nose in a second, to have like been able to develop the property as he anticipated, there would have been a lot of just excavating and development that would have to happen, and I don't know if he particularly saw that worth it, but I will overshare my 2 cents right now and say that if he was a smart man, he would have already. With the way that people are moving from like California to Tennessee, Brentwood is a very desirable place to live in because a lot of these Californians, they don't want to live just in a hunky-dory little small town where they got to worry about getting shot up by the locals because, like little Miss Sadie said earlier, her grandpa's got a bumper sticker that says "Don't California my Tennessee," and there's a lot of people who truly are not happy with the influx of people who are moving here. And it's not just California, yeah, like Jerry said, it's not just California, like a lot different economies to where they can sell their $500,000 home and come here and buy practically 2 houses for that price. So it's really, really interesting. I will say a lot of my small town personally has been developed within the time that I've left, not in a really like invasive gentrification way, and more so like the only invasive gentrification aspect that they've really put into place is that from Nashville to my small town, they have been widening the roads for 2 years to try to combat against some of the traffic that they experience. And we also have gotten some nicer gas stations. So, and like when I say nicer gas stations, I mean, I'm used to the mom and pops where like it's a building that's been there for a while, somebody eventually put in gas pumps and it became a gas station. But now it's like you have these buildings that like these blueprints are solely for gas stations, which this sounds crazy, probably. But yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, big part of it. That, and they just don't like, so this is a very conservative town, and it's also a very complacent place that I'm in the Bible Belt right now too, so it's a very structured place as far as like religion goes, like families and just generational inheritance and things like that. So they don't like when a lot of that changes, because it's such an interesting thing. People want change here so much. They want it to change because they're tired of, you know, the same old, but at the same time, anytime change happens, everybody freaks out because they don't know how to like deal with it, you know, like everybody has something to say no matter what. You enjoy work today? Yeah, so in California, a lot of people, like from here where I'm currently visiting, like where I grew up, a lot of people from here can't imagine a place where where they can just be themselves without worry, without judgment, without stigma, without any like just opinion projected onto it, which you still get that in California. But what I've tried to tell everybody, it's a place that embodies free will to the fullest. What free will to me looks like might look different to you. And that's the beauty of just being human, and that we all have different perceptions. And that's like something that isn't really as embodied here. Like, yes, people are free. We talk about freedom, like it's a great place, but free to a point. Free to a socially acceptable point. Like, of most kinds, which I don't condone or agree with, but people here couldn't imagine that. So that's just something to put in your perspective as to how that can change the environment, as well as the mindsets of the people who live in the environment. But the biggest thing that I've learned just in my travels, in this crazy little life that we all get to have for however long the wheel deems, is that your environment definitely dictates a lot of who you are, and a lot of the people that I grew up with in these small towns are a product of it, and you can't blame them for not having anything other than what was in front of them. So it's like ignorance is bliss, and there's like a degree of, I don't know, it's just a really, but you're okay. Yeah, California is one of those things where, like, I don't know, it's taught me that I really can adapt. Like, I don't know, when you grow up in a place where nothing ever really changes, I feel like that's where they ingrain the fear of change, which I briefly touched on earlier. So it was like getting over that and like really seeing how independent that I could be, because I left everything that I had ever known in my